Okay, imagine this. You're browsing Amazon and you see a MacBook Air, renewed for under $320. Sounds amazing, right? Almost. Suspiciously good. Well, today on the Deep Dive, that's exactly our mission. We're looking at a specific Amazon renewed early 2020 Intel MacBook Air. The AS sign is B08BCG Chi KV59 if you want to look it up. We're going deep into a product report, consumer FAQs, basically figuring out if this bargain is really a smart move or maybe, a hidden trap. We want to pull out the key stuff for you.
Yeah, and the report doesn't mince words. Its final verdict calls this model a false economy, a high-risk proposition even. It scored really low, like 45 out of 100 overall. And the bang for buck, a dismal 2 out of 10. Plus, and this is worrying, 22% of the actual customer reviews are just 1 star. That's quite high.
Wow, okay, 2 out of 10. That's pretty damning for something priced so attractively. So why? What's driving that harsh verdict?
Well, it really boils down to the core technical stuff. Big issues there. First off, the processor. It's a base 1.1 gigahertz Intel Core i3. And honestly, that's just fundamentally underpowered for what people do on computers today. But it gets worse. There's this well-known design flaw, the cooling fan inside. It isn't actually connected to the CPU.
Wait, seriously, not connected? How does that even work?
It doesn't really. It was a, let's say, controversial design choice. It means the chip overheats super fast, and then you get severe thermal throttling. The computer basically slams the brakes on its own performance to avoid damage, just cripples itself.
Okay, so performance takes a massive hit almost immediately under load.
Exactly. And then there's the memory, HEB of RAM. It's the LPDDR4X type, which is decent, but HEB is really the bare minimum now for Mac OS. Start multitasking, open a few apps, maybe some browser tabs, and it becomes a huge bottleneck. The system starts memory swapping like crazy. It uses the SSD, the storage drive, as temporary RAM.
Oh, and that slows things down even more, right? Plus, wears out the SSD faster.
Precisely. Slows everything down, increases wear. And the crucial part here, the RAM and the SSD, they're soldered to the board. Absolutely not upgradable. What you buy is what you're stuck with.
Okay. Technically challenging, to put it mildly, but the listing says renewed excellent condition. And there's that 90-day Amazon renewed guarantee. Doesn't that offer some peace of mind?
It sounds like it should, yes. But here's a really critical factor the report highlights, the seller. This specific listing is sold by a third party called Tech Exchange. And, well, they have quite a few public complaints out there.
Oh, like what kind of complaints?
Things about the actual condition not matching the description, difficulties with returns, just general misrepresentation. So yeah, the Amazon guarantee exists on paper, but if you have to fight a difficult seller to use it, that adds a whole layer of hassle and, frankly, risk for you.
That's a really important point. The guarantee is only as good as the process to claim it.
Exactly. And look closer at the seller's actual listing on Amazon. There are some major red flags right there. They list the RAM type incorrectly. It says DDR3, but it's actually LPDDR4X. Completely different specs. And they get the screen resolution wrong too. They list 1920 by 1080, but the real Retina display is 2560 by 1600.
That doesn't inspire confidence. Suggests maybe carelessness, or maybe they don't fully understand the product they're refurbishing.
It definitely raises questions about their whole refurbishment process,
Yeah.
If they miss basic specs like that, what else are they missing?
So putting it all together, weak chip, major thermal issues, non-upgradable parts, a seller with complaints, incorrect specs in the listing. It's looking pretty grim. Is there a better alternative if you're in that budget range?
Oh, absolutely. And this is where the argument for the Intel model just completely falls apart. For maybe just $20 to $130 more, sometimes even less, depending on the deals, you can find a renewed M1 MacBook Air.
Ah, the M1 chip. That was the game changer, wasn't it?
Total game changer. The M1 is like orders of magnitude faster. Seriously, it's night and day. Plus, it runs silently because it doesn't even need a fan. The battery life is significantly longer, and Apple will support it with software updates for much longer, too. Comparing the M1 to this Intel model, it just makes buying the Intel version, well, kind of logically indefensible for most people.
So is there anyone who should consider this specific Intel model we've been dissecting?
Honestly, it's an extremely narrow niche. You'd have to be incredibly budget constrained. Like, this is absolutely the most you can spend, and your needs have to be super basic. We're talking maybe just email, simple web browsing, like 1 or 2 tabs, maybe writing a document. That's it. Definitely no real multitasking, no creative stuff like photo or video editing. Absolutely no gaming.
Right. Single tasking, very light use only.
And there's another point to consider. The gap between how long Apple technically supports it with Mac OS updates, which might be until around 2027, and how long it's practically usable. Because of the performance limits, it's probably going to feel painfully slow and just obsolete way before Apple cuts off the software updates. You might get the new OS, but using it will likely be frustrating.
Okay, so the conclusion from our deep dive seems pretty clear then. Based on the report, the specs, the seller issues.
Yeah, the report strongly recommends avoiding this specific purchase, that initial low price. It's really just an illusion. It leads to frustration, wasted time. It's just not worth it.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? When you see a tech bargain, what's the true cost? Not just the dollars you pay up front, but maybe the cost in your time, your productivity, just your overall experience using the thing. What are those hidden costs you might be buying into without realizing it? Something to consider.